Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Gut Health 15. I'm Marla Stegman, and I've been with Plexus now over 9 years and had no intention of sharing the products until they transformed my health. And then I had to figure out how to share. And then once I started sharing and realized the um, opportunity that lies within it for myself and others, I had to keep going. And that's why I'm here continuing this. We like to have these Gut Health 15 minutes, try and keep them 15 minutes to honor everybody's time. But our stories are what transforms our businesses. And these products are powerful. Plexus products are different than other products on the market. We have products that get to the root cause of why we have symptoms. They address our gut health system with our Restore product. Now, you can think of it as 4 pillars of health that it addresses with the gut health, blood sugar balance, inflammation, and and the liver detox. And I'm sipping on mine right now. I love this Restore. I actually added LaCroix to it tonight, so we can have a little bubbly with it. So I love it. I just for something different. I've been doing that. It's kind of been fun. So right now, this month, I'm going to remind everybody that when you share about your products with a friend, family member, they can get a free reset, which is our 3-day nutritional fast. And this is not just about weight loss. This is to reset your metabolism, help with brain fog, help with autoimmune issues. It just helps give you better overall energy and a body reset. And yeah, that's quite a steal. That's like a $90 value that people get free this month when they order like a gut health combo, just really 1 to 2 products, or well, not would be 2 to 3 products or more. So don't be shy. And the reason we love these stories also is because it's going to empower you to share more, just learning through our stories, okay? Because you have a story to be untapped too. Just remember that. So I'm so excited to have 2 guests on tonight. First one that's going to speak to us and share her story is Amy Triplett. And we met and got to know each other at a Jewels of Excellence training. When you hit even gold in this company, they start offering trainings for you, and you get to know other people. It's just so cool. So Amy and I were in Arizona for a training in 2023, and she's just a gem. So she's going to share her story and give us a few tips. Okay, so let's welcome, and it's late there. It's 9:30 her time, and her husband's away because for some reasons, and just to help her kiddos get to bed. So we're going to let her hop off right after. So thank you, Amy.
Thank you so much, Marla. I'm excited to be here. So, I started Plexus 10 years ago. And I'll be honest with you, I had a friend who was reaching out to me because she had lost about 50 pounds and I kept liking all her stuff. And she would constantly be like, "Hey, are you interested in this product?" And my answer was, "I'm so proud of you, but absolutely not." And I meant it, and I that was my thing. So, but what I didn't know is, and what she didn't know, I should say, was was just recently a stay-at-home mom. I was a teacher for about 10 years, and when I had my third baby, I finally got a chance to stay home. And I don't know if anyone else is a stay-at-home mom with like babies, but it's hard. It's actually harder than it was to go to work all day because it was physically exhausting. I had something called adrenal fatigue, and I also had severe migraines. And they would be so bad that my mother-in-law would have to come over so I can because I could not handle noise, I couldn't handle sound, and I have 2 very rambunctious boys. At the time, they were 3 and 5. They still are now at 15 and 17. They're crazy, but back then, and then my baby girl, like it was just my husband would have to come home. I mean, I was hospitalized. I had such severe migraines, even as a teenager, that my mother had taken me to all kinds of doctors, and literally nothing would touch it except for something that would completely knock me out. So I hated being on any kind of medication or anything because it would really not do anything except for knock me out, and I couldn't do that with my kids. So being a stay-at-home mom, I wanted so desperately because it was my dream. I went back to work when my son was 3 months old, and then my oldest, and when he was 4 is when I finally got to be home with them. And so it's like something that I like as a mom, like I desperately wanted. And this was around the time where, just where I kind of just got into social media. So I would make my little crafts with the kids, my sidewalk chalk that I made, and like the little things that I do. And you'd see those pictures, and you would think that I had this happy, my dream finally came true, this happy life. And I was. But what you didn't see is that lasted maybe 10 minutes because that's about all I can handle. And then I would feel so guilty because I have to put a movie on for them and basically mom from the couch because either my migraine or just exhaustion. I also had such severe sugar cravings that I got, and I was grieving the loss of my father around this time too. It's just everything was kind of hitting me at once. That when I would give my kids nutritious food, I would try to. But I personally got to a point where I was just eating dessert. And my husband felt bad because I was grieving so deeply. And I'd be like, do not come home without a candy bar. Like I was just so like, and I'd hide it from the kids. We, at this point, because I had stepped down from teaching before we had the finances to do so, that I somehow found a way to get the kids in the car and everybody get a cheeseburger and I would get those McDonald's like drinks, those coffee. I craved those things. So gross now to think about it. But like that is how I mean, I'm telling you, like no matter how poor we were, I found in the junk drawer some change to go get one of those coffee things. So that was like my life at that point. And here I am, my friend, constantly sharing about these products. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Okay, here's the thing though. All those things I just mentioned, the thing that kept me up at night, the thing I would worry about is our finances. I liked being a stay-at-home mom. I hated not having enough money to do things like play dates or when somebody would invite us to Chick-fil-A, like I'd be embarrassed because we genuinely didn't have the money for everybody to get their own meal. And I would just like, oh, and then we would share and or I didn't have the gas money to go. It was a really financially rough time, the roughest time we ever had. I ended up here I am with a college degree. My husband has his master's degree. He lost his job about 6 months after I had stepped down from teaching. That was not planned. We moved into a 600 square foot mobile home that somebody literally gave us and it had holes in the floor and like I just got to a point where I just felt less than. I had hated that feeling. I hated being on food stamps. I hated waiting in the WIC line. Like I just there's something and there's nothing wrong with those things and that is when that's what it's meant for, but I just didn't like that feeling, especially coming from a pretty affluent church and like my family. It was just I don't know, I just didn't like that feeling and I just thought something has to change. But regardless of how I felt, on paper it doesn't make sense how we even paid our bills. Like it just doesn't make sense. We were struggling. And so that is what kept me up at night. So it wasn't until my friend who was constantly asking me about Plexus, one day, she was my college roommate. Again, she had no idea how we were doing financially. She had no idea how I was suffering physically. I mean, if you saw me on Facebook, you would think I was living my dream. I'm finally a stay-at-home mom, and here's all the fun things we're doing. But one day she posted on Facebook and she said, I got my Plexus paycheck and I made enough money to cover my car payment, my mortgage, and my products. That is what got my attention. I know so many times people are so afraid to share the business side or it's like weird to talk about, but that post changed my mind. Yes, I was interested in the products, but I told myself I can't afford it. We could barely afford food. I'm not going to go buy a vitamin. That was generally what I thought. I just, and I also just thought it was weight loss. So here's what I did. I Googled who died from Plexus. I genuinely Googled that. Nobody died. I was like, okay, I trust her. She says it's good. I didn't care what it did. What I cared about is that she said she made $1,135. That sounded like $1 million to me. And I thought to myself, okay, that's stupid. I'm not going to make $1,100. But what if I can make $200 and that was my play date money? That would allow me to be able to stay home and at least do some things with the kids. And I don't care if the product works or not. That was genuinely my thought. I'm going to make this product work because I need to do something with my kids. Well, to my shock, and this is like till this day, I cannot get over this. I started the product and now listen, we tell everybody 90 days. Okay. That is what I'm telling you. It takes time. But for everybody's story is different. For me, and the Lord knew my personality, what I probably needed. 8 days in, I woke up for the first of all, I slept through the night for the first time I think ever in my whole life. It scared me. But then when I woke up without a headache, I always had a headache. That was 10 years ago, you guys. I've had maybe two or three migraines since then. And I stopped craving sugar. And that was shocking. Now I understand now that my migraines were directly related to my sugar, like my blood sugar. And nobody addressed that ever. I've never even heard that before. But the slim is like it balances your blood sugar. I don't crave the sugar. Um, but even when I do have something sweet, it doesn't affect me. Before I could just look at that McDonald's drink and I already had a headache. Like I'm not exaggerating. I really there was something in my brain that I really could already feel the headache coming on. But I craved it so much, it was such an addiction that I would still drink it. Now I don't even want it, but if I do drink something like that, it doesn't give me those migraines. So then it became of like, wow, I need the finances to, are you kidding me? What is this stuff? Everybody needs this stuff. My daughter had severe eczema, gone. Like you don't even understand how desperately I was trying to help her. And like they put us on steroids and antibiotics and these creams and nothing worked for her. She was only like 2 when I started giving her the ProBio 5. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I did. I would open it up and mush it in her strawberries, gone. She's 12, almost 13 and gone. Like it's just shocking. So I started for the business and but the product is what has helped me to be successful. And my best tips here, and this is always true, it's true today. If you see me on social media, two things. There's nothing special about me, nothing, except for this two things. I am very consistent, extremely consistent. Whether I had a bad day, whether I didn't feel like it, whether everybody ignored me, whether someone hurt my feelings, I showed up because I treated this like a business from day one. The other thing is, always have been extremely authentic. I'm never going to be like the cutesy influencer. Like, like I'm just, that's not, maybe in my own way, but you have to be yourself. Like the way I share is going to be different than the way Marla shares or that Nina or Andrea or whoever. Like you have to be yourself. And I think the more vulnerable you are and real and relatable, you will find your right people. Because even if I pretended to be like the real making, like awesome, I don't know how people do it, all the things, even if I attracted someone that and I couldn't keep them. You know what I mean? Because you have to be you. You're gonna find your right people. So financially, this business, I gave it everything I had. I replaced my teacher income within I think 4 or 5 months. And within less than 2 years, we were making six figures from home. So not only did I get to be a stay-at-home mom, but since then, now my husband um, he did find a better job and for a little bit, but now he's with us. He's home with us. Like, so we both get to pour into our kids. Like, who gets to do that? He works from home too, does his own. But I'm just saying, like, it's completely changed the dynamic of my family. But the biggest gift, and I'll end with here, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. The biggest gift has been the fact that my kids have had a present mom because I no longer, I mean, even to this day, I'm like, come on, guys, let's go to Busch Gardens, let's do this, do that. And they were so little when I started. And I thank God for that because they did not have to grow up constantly, and they don't even remember constantly being told, Mama doesn't feel good, let's be quiet, or Mommy, can we do this? And I'm like, oh, I don't, I'm like, yeah, come on, guys, let's go. And I've had energy to be the mom that I've wanted to be. We've had the finances to be the mom that I hope to be, like to go, we've been able to go on family vacation every single year since starting Plexus. Those are the things that I value and I'm so thankful for. So I will stop with that.
Thank you so much. Oh, that's a beautiful story. If anyone has any questions, just unmute yourself. It's a small group. If not, we'll let Amy tend to her kids and be the loving mother she is. Isn't she a beautiful woman, you guys? And
Yeah.
the tips were great. Couldn't agree more with everything you said. And you're just a blessing to know. I'm just so honored that I get to call you a friend.
Oh, thank you, Marla. I
Yes.
appreciate it. I feel the same about you.
Okay. Thanks so much. Hope your mother-in-law gets
Um,
better too.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for
I
sharing.
appreciate you. Yes, thank you so much. Well, I will see you soon, and I hope you have a great rest of your meeting.
Yes, thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, next we have Mandy. Swenson, who has been I've known her since 2003 or four, can't remember. She is a hardworking teacher, and she has been with the products off and on for quite a few years. I think she was my second customer ever back in 2015. And she is loving the progress she's making since she kind of drew her line in the sand, and her husband's as well. And she is now a silver and moving on up to more things and sharing with more people. So I'm just so thrilled that she's going to share her testimonial with us tonight.
Oh, thanks, Marla. Yeah, like Marla said, I was second customer, and it wasn't my first introduction to Plexus. I had met somebody at a vendor fair who had shared the products, and so I had ordered Slim. I think I used it like a month, and I was like, well, I didn't see any difference, and so I just kind of shoved it aside and I moved on. And a couple years later, then Marla started sharing, and knowing Marla, I know how genuine she is, how honest she is, and how much um, she just loves health. And I knew that about Marla. And so when I saw her having success, I thought, okay, I need to like give these a shot. And so I ordered. Um, at this time, my husband and I were on our little fertility journey. And so I, you know, got my supplies and I marched into the reproductive endocrinology department and I was like, can I take this? And they read through the ingredients and Dr. C said, yep, no problem. You can do that. And so I I took them, and like Marla said, off and on. You know, there were different times where I think I would just be so overwhelmed with all of the reproductive journey, and it is emotional. Um, but I did get to a time where I had a line drawn in the sand where like when I felt like I had no control over other things going into my body, I could put Plexus in and I felt better. Um, so that's been like great success, right? And I have loved the like migraines are gone. When Amy was talking about having migraines for years, that was me, like so much. And I have such fewer headaches. Um, I do still have, I'm sure I know that they're migraines because I've lived with them for years, but they're just, I think normal people would call them like a headache, but because of where they come from, I know it's a very like baby migraine. So I love that being a teacher, I can go into the classroom and it's not like, oh, you guys, can we just turn off one of the lights or the kids having to be quiet? So I love that. But let me tell you, this Restore drink is a game changer. I absolutely love it. And I think really this summer when this came out, I ordered like the moment that we could. And because I'd had it in the reset and I wasn't a huge fan, but with the reformulation, now I absolutely love it. And so I have found like since the restore, I'm sleeping so much better. And as you get into like your 40s, sleep is an issue that kind of um, is on everybody's minds, especially if you're up in the middle of the night. But so since adding Restore, I've slept well throughout the night. But last week, one night, I slept the entire night. I went to bed at 10:05 and I woke up at 6:09 and I slept the entire night. And I was like, this hasn't happened like since some time in my 30s. I know that for sure. And so I was just so excited. So I love I love the products. My husband, after watching me for a few years, he got his blood work back from the doctor, and the doctor's like, "Oh, your glucose is kind of coming up a little bit, and you've got a little bit of high blood pressure." And I said to him, like, "Do not let them put you on any medications. we're going to try this. And he said, yeah, I kind of want to try it. And so everything is coming back down into normal ranges. Blood pressure problems are gone. And so just the success that he has found is amazing. So I I love these products. And I love feeling good. And that's the thing. So that's my little story.
It's not just a little story, it's a huge story. And yeah, just the reminiscing and thinking back to the beginning, and it's a little emotional. And thank you for just sharing from your heart and being vulnerable. This is being vulnerable, but people, this is where growth lies, right? And everyone just only wants somebody who cares about them, right? So, let's see, Nina has something here. Are you doing lymphatic massage with your restore? She's asked you.
So that's interesting that you bring that up because I I didn't think about it till now. I did have starting in early July, so it would be after starting the restore when it came out to everybody. I did have more of a swollen lymph nodes in my like the occipital lymph nodes and then in my upper neck. And so just lately, I've been incorporating more dry brushing to kind of get that going. And I've noticed between that and then a little bit of castor oil, especially on these stubborn ones, they are getting less. But until you wrote that down, I didn't put that together at all, Nina.
Yeah, and I didn't either because I haven't done any. I mean, I do dry brushing and I do lymphatic clearing or whatever just from YouTube. I haven't. So yeah, that's a good point because I don't know if you want to speak to that anymore, Nina, and what you know about it, but um,
Sure, I'll be glad to. There's a girl in a diamond, and I know you probably know her, and
Lori, Carol,
Lori,
yeah, yeah,
you need to join her group. It's phenomenal. It's
okay,
called Learning to Detox, and it's open to anybody. And she just gave a talk. That's Lori right there. And she just gave a talk. She talks enormously about lymphatic massage. She even gives you several videos on Facebook or YouTube on how to do it. And there is a correct way of doing it. And it really does help because people are so stubborn they think that the scale is the perfect thing for them. They're a numbers person. It's your clothes. It's
yeah.
your clothes and how your clothes fit on you, not the number on the scale. And I can contest to this because hang on a minute. I don't mean to sabotage, but this was me,
Wow.
husband, and we're both doing it. And we're doing the restore and taking it consistency. Um, drink water, 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 walk, whatever, you know,
Yeah.
and do the 3-day uh, restore or reset. Oh my gosh, people are, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump in, but it's just something so phenomenal.
We'll have to have you on one of our Gut Health 15s, okay?
Okay,
That sound.
sorry about that, but I
Yes.
just,
No, we want to try and honor it to time
oh
usually.
yeah,
So we'll have you on another month. But yeah, detox is lymphatic detox. There's a lot of different kinds of different ways that you can do lymphatic drainage. So everyone kind of has their different techniques, but Lori Harrison, who she's referring to, is very natural, and she has been kind of with Plexus since 2010, I think, or
Is
2000.
it free, the group?
Yeah. I think I'm in there actually. I just haven't taken time.
Because it's not the same one that Jessica Hugendorn is doing right now,
No,
right?
Oh, that's because you had to pay for. And that,
I have a question for Mandy.
okay.
Awesome. What products were you on when you got rid of your migraines? What products helped you get rid of your migraines?
So I've got the triplex that I'm going with full time. And then I really think it was that lessened them, but it was Restore that kicked them in the butt.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
I know the Restore is an amazing product. The more I take it, I've gotten off it and on it, and now I'm on it again. And I'm like, why did I stop? So I got to just stay on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like
Have you heard of kids taking it, Marla?
no, I haven't.
It's got the appetite suppressant, so I suppose that's probably why kids are not taking it.
Right. No, I haven't heard of it, but doesn't mean it's not happening. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, could be.
Right. Well, I think that's all for tonight. Next Monday is Kelly Hall's turn to host. So we'll watch for the graphic in our groups. And thank you again, Mandy, for hopping on and sharing. And we'll see you guys back here on Monday.
Thanks, ladies. Thanks, Mandy, for sharing.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me. Bye.
Thanks, Marla.